We push the envelope. It's a little bit naughty. No children allowed, and some adults, okay? So enjoy yourself. Yes. Now what I wanted to do is introduce our two directors. We're doing two shows. One is a scene from I Can't Hear You When the Water's Running. It's called Shop of Recognition, and it is. And the director for that one is Fred Kessling. The second production is called The Oldest Profession, and that one's being directed by Liz White. So right now what we're going to do is leave you alone, and Fred's going to...
Web magazine. Last year, Ed jumped into acting head first, was in 2 productions over at Lakeside Little Theater. This year, Ed has been cast in the second show of the year, which is the Agatha Christie mystery, her most famous theater piece, The Mousetrap, and that will be put on at LLT the end of October, the beginning of November. Playing the playwright's friend.
I gave this to my grandmother to...
You see, here's my composites, the pictures that I was leaving for you while with the girl. A doctor, a cowboy, a soldier, a businessman, a small town grocer. You can't notice it, but probably, but I...
Jack, why don't you fill Mr. Pauling in? Take over. After all, it was your idea.
I don't think Mr. Pauling is exactly the type.
I can look a lot younger.
It's not that.
Or older.
I think you owe it to Mr. Pauling to go into that part about with the requirements. I mean,
but I remember distinctly saying, for Christ's sake, how many times I have to tell you I can't hear you when the goddamn water's running. Excuse me, Mr. Barnstable.
Why did you say excuse me to me?
Well, I don't know.
So the scene is familiar, Jack.
I mean, excuse me. I'm not questioning it. I can see where it helps the actor to understand the character. He's the kind of guy who brushes his teeth in the nude. Now, I can handle that, because I've done that.
He turns off the water and he comes into the bedroom and says the line you said, only without the blasphemy. Mr. Barnstable does not like blasphemy on stage.
Of course, I see, yes, he said the line.
Bare-assed. How would you feel about that? The actor has to stand there naked and say the line.
All right, look, let me explain. Let me explain it. This is not just for shock effect or for thrills. There's nothing sexy about it. I just think that it's an added value for an audience to relate to a situation they know. The only shock would be the pleasurable shock of recognition, the honesty, the truthfulness of it. The man then goes back into the bathroom, and the next time we see him, he's in a bathrobe, and we never see him naked again. I think it can be one of the great moments in the history of the theater. Like Nora slamming the door in a doll's house. Do you remember that?
How would you feel about that?
Well, I have to apologize.
I understand,
Mr. I didn't expect to see anyone. I was just dropping by the leaves. How ridiculous do you want this magic? I mean, I'm not a 98-pound weakling. But if I didn't eat anything for a while, and if I shaved the hair on my chest, is this guy supposed to be funny?
Oh, no! He's the leading man. It's just that Mr. Barnstable wants to puncture this idea of the muscular and hefty man. He wants, in a sense, every man.
Well, that's me. I'm really the original anonymous man. People are all the time coming up to me and thinking, yeah, they've met me.
That's Mr. Barnstable's idea?
Well,
Yeah, I think that will be all, Mr. Poling. I think we're okay now.
Well, my chest is misleading, that hair, but you see my legs. I mean, I wouldn't want you to count me out just because of the hair on my chest.
Look, I think you're quite right, Mr. Poling. Mr. Barnstable is out at
Discussing this sort of thing, but I have to tell you, girls have sometimes laughed or giggled at first. Of course, not the look that counts. We all know that. Now, I've been turned down for parts because I was too short, or too tall, too fat, or too thin, too young, or too old. But I never didn't get a part because of, oh, what the hell. I agree with you completely, Mr. Barnstable. It's time the American theater grew up.
Thank you for your cooperation, Mr. Poling. Button your clothes up, please. There's a door into the hall back here. You can change in the next room, and of course, we'll be in touch with you.
Now she is a dancer, actress, and singer, and she has appeared frequently on the stage at LLT. And I think most people remember her for having played Sally Bowles in Cabaret. Christine Leclerc is what we call a natural actress. Until she came to us, she had never done anything in her life, never taken a lesson, never been on stage. And she suddenly appeared during our summer program and did a marvelous job in LLT's production of Passengers. And she's recently been cast in the coming production of The Mousetrap. She's playing Ursula. Our next lady is Day Daubert. I think Day is probably, most of the people I know lived in Ajijic longest because her parents moved here years ago. So she's been a long-time resident of this area. She was a former documentary film writer. And she has appeared in as many as 14 LLT productions. And she will be playing May. We have Arlene Pace. Arlene is a professional actress, and she has toured the United States and Europe for 8 years, and later presented her one-woman show in New York, Baltimore, and Amsterdam. She has appeared in 3, LLT productions, most recently Kiss Me, Kate, where she played the stage manager. She was a non-singing role. And then finally, you all know Betty Lloyd Robinson, singer, actress, director. Although acting is her preference, she has produced and/or directed her own theater group in the United States, as well as directing LLT's Kiss Me, Kate last season. Edna. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Now, just the scene for you. I'm really worth.
How much?
So, tell us.
I know it's not your first time in handcuffs.
They took you away in handcuffs? Oh, well, no.
Oh, that wasn't the worst of it. Well, that cell was crammed floor to ceiling with alley girls. God, skinny little things and barely enough to cover the essentials. Some of them twitching for a hit, some screaming to call their pimps, all of them young enough to be... When they found out what I was charged with, they laughed until they pissed. All night long.
Oh, night.
So, how did it happen? And don't leave out a single detail.
Well, you know Mr. Gross.
The retired engineer.
Right. Well, he's been dying to get in on the game, but his wife watches him like a hawk. So, Mr. Marvin's nephew's out of town this week, and Marvin's been watering his plants on the Upper East Side. We have all arranged.
We were very discreet.
Well, I, for one, did not know.
Go on. The Monopoly boys invited Carol Ross over to the Upper East Side, and event, the boys presented him with a large poster in the shape of a check, inscribed, "Prepay to the order of how